The easy way to stop smoking. Each year, countless individuals make attempts to quit smoking, aiming to break free from their addiction once and for all. However, the majority of these attempts result in failure. Why is that? What are they missing? As you will discover in the following discussion, many commonly employed methods for quitting smoking are based on misconceptions about addiction and the process of quitting. These misconceptions have been deeply ingrained in our minds, making the process of quitting much more challenging than necessary. So, what is the effective way to quit smoking? Allow me to introduce you to the most successful approach for permanently abandoning cigarettes: the easy way method. This method revolves around developing a fresh perspective on your addiction, identifying and addressing the underlying reasons behind your smoking habits, and recognizing that cigarettes hold no positive value whatsoever. As you continue to listen, you will learn how this method works and how it can guide you towards a smoke-free life. Chapter 1. Challenge the reasons behind smoking to successfully quit the habit. There are countless theories and recommendations on how to quit smoking permanently. Some suggest that it's all about willpower, while others emphasize understanding the harmful effects of smoking. However, the truth is that smokers are already aware of the negative consequences. While they initially chose to smoke, they never intended to become regular smokers or to rely on smoking after every meal. Many smokers tell themselves they'll quit eventually but are hesitant to take the actual step. So, why is quitting so intimidating? It's the fear of the anticipated misery that follows, the concern that we won't enjoy occasions as we used to, and the worry of missing out on the perceived benefits of smoking. Those who have tried to quit and failed may experience even greater apprehension. But there is an easy way to quit smoking, one that doesn't involve suffering, an iron will, or withdrawal symptoms. No, it's not a magical solution. It simply requires questioning the reasons why you smoke. Many smokers claim it helps them relax or concentrate, but in reality, smoking accomplishes neither. The feelings of relaxation or concentration are deceptive, and overcoming these illusions lies at the core of the easy way method. To succeed with the easy way, it's crucial to strictly follow the instructions without relying on substitutes like nicotine gum. And, like any quitting method, you must genuinely desire to quit in the first place. By embracing this method, you will gain a fresh perspective. You will no longer envy smokers but instead feel pity for them. Meanwhile, as you read these instructions, it is advised to continue smoking so that your focus isn't compromised by the need for a cigarette. In the following sections, we will explore why other quitting methods fall short in comparison. Chapter 2. Viewing quitting smoking as a sacrifice will hinder your success. The conventional belief is that if you can abstain from smoking long enough, you will eventually lose the desire to smoke, signifying a successful quit. However, this perspective turns quitting into a sacrifice, needlessly making the process much more challenging. When we rely solely on willpower to quit smoking, we perceive it as giving up something. Instead of constantly reminding ourselves that we are not allowed to smoke, we should aim to genuinely not want a cigarette in the first place. This shift in mindset proves difficult even when we focus on the benefits of not smoking, such as saving money or improving our health. Despite growing accustomed to these advantages, our minds still crave cigarettes, increasing the risk of relapse significantly. Another commonly used approach is cutting back on smoking. However, by limiting smoking to special occasions, we inadvertently create a stronger positive association with smoking. Furthermore, while still being addicted, cutting back often leads to heightened stress levels compared to when we were smoking regularly, causing withdrawal symptoms throughout the day. Cutting back doesn't reduce the desire for cigarettes. In fact, it may intensify the craving. While it may be easy to refrain from smoking for a day or even longer without actively thinking about it, if you are attempting to cut back, your thoughts will remain fixated on cigarettes, making the actual act of quitting just as challenging as ever. In contrast, the easy way approach does not rely on self-restraint. Instead, it focuses on overcoming the cultural conditioning that prompts you to reach for another cigarette. To delve deeper into this method, continue to the next chapter. Chapter 3. Overcoming a smoking addiction requires tackling the real obstacle: brainwashing. Smoking is not merely a habit, as habits are relatively easy to change. It is an addiction to nicotine. By understanding the underlying mechanisms of this addiction, you can take your first steps towards quitting. Nicotine is an incredibly addictive drug and a potent poison. In fact, the amount of nicotine in one cigarette, if directly injected into a vein, could be fatal. However, despite its fast-hooking nature, the addiction itself is not overly severe. Withdrawal symptoms are not characterized by physical pain but rather by a sense of something missing. When you satisfy the craving for nicotine, instant relief follows, which often leads to chain smoking. After approximately 3 weeks of not smoking, 99% of the nicotine will have exited your body, marking the end of the physical addiction. So why is it that many people still experience relapses beyond this point? The primary challenge lies not in the nicotine addiction itself but rather in the pervasive brainwashing we are subjected to. Whether it comes from advertising, the media, or friends and relatives who smoke, nearly everyone emphasizes how difficult it is to quit and portrays it as a significant sacrifice. However, believing these notions is precisely what makes quitting more challenging. We have been led to believe that smoking alleviates boredom, stress, aids concentration, and induces relaxation. Yet, in reality, smoking does not actually address these underlying needs. These ideas have been ingrained in us through extensive brainwashing. Chapter 4. The perceived benefits associated with smoking are mere illusions. What do you typically associate with smoking? Perhaps relaxation or socializing? However, contrary to popular belief, the relaxation and stress relief we attribute to smoking are not positive influences. They are merely the outcomes of satisfying our addiction and relieving our cravings. Many of us consider our lives to be stressful, and this may seem like a valid reason to indulge in a harmful habit that promises relaxation. However, it's important to recognize that much of the stress experienced by smokers is caused by nicotine withdrawal pangs. While smoking a cigarette may temporarily alleviate this stress, non-smokers do not experience this stress to begin with. Nicotine itself is a chemical stimulant, so why do so many of us believe in its relaxing effects? The sense of relaxation we feel after smoking is simply the result of fulfilling the body's nicotine cravings. In reality, long-term smokers do not genuinely experience true relaxation anymore. Similarly, the perceived improvements in concentration and alleviation of boredom after smoking are illusory. If you are addicted to smoking, you may only experience better concentration after a cigarette because the constant thought of cigarettes becomes distracting when you are not smoking. Likewise, cigarettes do not counteract boredom. They merely induce lethargy, leading to increased boredom. Given these refutations of the arguments in favor of continuing to smoke, what motivations do we have to inspire us to quit? While saving money and improving health are indeed compelling incentives, these advantages manifest gradually rather than instantly. You will not instantaneously feel youthful again upon quitting. So, what can provide the long-lasting motivation needed to quit for good? The answer lies in the feeling of freedom. Once you realize that smoking offers you nothing of value, you will be on the path towards quitting and doing so permanently. Chapter 5. There is no more opportune moment to quit than the present. If you're contemplating quitting but have yet to take the leap, it's likely because you're waiting for the perfect timing to present itself. However, when exactly is the right time to quit? Should you wait until you're less stressed or have fewer worries? The truth is, there is no ideal moment. The best time to quit is right now, immediately after listening to this, if you are willing and convinced. Timing holds little significance, as quitting is achievable at any point if approached correctly. Naturally, you'll have numerous doubts before quitting. It's crucial to address these doubts because they will only obstruct your path to freedom. Many individuals wonder if they will miss nicotine. However, after 30 days, nicotine will be completely out of your system, and you won't experience any cravings for it. Others may fear weight gain, assuming they will replace cigarettes with sweets. While withdrawal symptoms for nicotine may resemble hunger, with attentiveness, you can distinguish between the two. Additionally, it's vital to stop deceiving yourself with the belief that indulging in one cigarette or a special occasion smoke is justified. Just a single puff is enough to sustain your nicotine addiction and reinforce the brainwashing that keeps you trapped in the cycle of smoking. Chapter 6. Your journey to freedom begins the moment you extinguish your final cigarette, not after the withdrawal period has passed. At its core, smoking is a drug addiction. To quit, you must endure a withdrawal period of approximately 30 days as nicotine gradually exits your system. However, there is no need to fear this period. In fact, fearing withdrawal only serves as an additional hurdle to overcome when quitting. Nicotine replacement therapy operates under the notion that you must combat both the smoking habit and the pangs of nicotine withdrawal. Yet, smoking is not merely a habit, it is an addiction. The initial step in overcoming this addiction is to break free from the brainwashing that portrays quitting as a sacrifice. However, relying on nicotine replacements only prolongs nicotine's grip on your body. Many individuals mistakenly believe that a significant transformation will occur after the 30-day withdrawal period, as if they will experience an awakening and suddenly become non-smokers. This belief, however, is unfounded. Smoke your last cigarette and inhale deeply. Ask yourself what it truly provides you. The answer is nothing. Extinguish it with a sense of liberation. From that moment, you are already a contented non-smoker. Nicotine will cease to be an issue within days, but certain psychological triggers, such as being in situations associated with smoking or witnessing friends lighting up, may persist. Even when following the easy way method, 10% of quitters may relapse due to these triggers, but they can be overcome. Avoid suppressing thoughts about smoking or turning it into a taboo, as doing so will only intensify cravings. Instead, engage in honest reflection about how smoking restricts your freedom. By doing so, you will realize that smoking is not worth the effort. There is no need to avoid other smokers or completely change your lifestyle, as quitting smoking does not need to be a sacrifice. Embrace the joy of being a non-smoker. Take pride in your decision, and your life without cigarettes will be profoundly meaningful. You have just transitioned to The Easy Way to Stop Smoking by Alan Carr. The key concept of the book is that quitting smoking is not a sacrifice or an act of restraint. Instead, it is about gaining freedom. By dispelling false beliefs about frightening withdrawals and diminished enjoyment of life, and by uncovering the true reasons behind your reliance on cigarettes, you will be able to quit with conviction and savor a new, smoke-free existence. In Rewire, change your brain to break bad habits, overcome addictions, conquer self-destructive behavior, by Richard O'Connor, we explore a common aspect of being human. We all make mistakes. Sometimes these errors are trivial, such as a spelling mistake, but at times they can have serious consequences, like succumbing to the temptation of smoking a cigarette for old time's sake. These mistakes can lead to a cascade of destructive behaviors, not limited to smoking more cigarettes, but also encompassing anger, self-hatred, and guilt for slipping back into old patterns. Understanding why we make these mistakes and how our brains are wired to make them frequently is a central focus of O'Connor's book, Rewire. Please subscribe, like and leave us a comment, as we always appreciate your feedback.